Hospitals are supposed to be safe, places of light, healing, and hope. But anyone who has walked their halls in the dead of night knows the truth. Hospitals change after dark. The fluorescent lights hum like insects, shadows stretch too far, and silence lingers in corners where silence doesn't belong. At 3 a.m., hospitals stop being places of life and start becoming something else. It was a little after midnight when Daniel's car broke down on the outskirts of town. The storm had knocked out the lights along the highway, and the only building in sight was a hospital that loomed in the distance. Its tall windows glowed faintly, though the rest of the city was swallowed in darkness. He hesitated at first. Something about the place felt wrong, abandoned yet alive. But the rain was relentless, and he had no other choice. Clutching his soaked jacket tighter around himself, Daniel pushed the heavy front doors open and stepped inside. The smell hit him instantly. Not the sharp sting of disinfectant, not the clean sterility hospitals usually carried. This was thick, damp, rotting, like something left to spoil in a closed room. The lobby stretched out before him, dimly lit, with rows of empty chairs facing a reception desk. A bell sat on the counter. He tapped it once. The sound echoed through the building, far too loud, as if the hospital were hollow. No one answered. Daniel moved deeper. The corridors were long and narrow, the kind that bent slightly at the edges so you could never see too far ahead. Fluorescent lights buzzed overhead, flickering at random, sometimes plunging the hall into near total darkness. He passed doors that were slightly ajar, revealing empty patient rooms. Beds were unmade, sheets crumpled as if someone had left in a hurry. But the strangest detail, each pillow had a dark indentation, like a head had been resting there just moments ago. A sound stopped him in his tracks. A whisper, soft, wet, dragging across the walls. Daniel pressed his back against the cold tiles and listened. It wasn't words, more like breathing, labored and raspy. He forced himself to keep moving, though every step made the sound grow louder. At the end of the corridor, he spotted a figure. A nurse. Her uniform was stained, her cap tilted to one side. She had her back to him, standing completely still, facing a broken vending machine. Relieved, Daniel called out, "Excuse me, can you help me?" The nurse turned slowly. Her face was gray, eyes sunken, lips cracked. When she smiled, blood leaked from the corners of her mouth. Daniel stumbled back, but she didn't chase him. She only raised her hand and pointed to a door marked basement. The whispering grew louder. Daniel, shaking, turned and bolted in the opposite direction. But the hallways betrayed him. No matter which turn he took, every path circled back to that same door. With no escape left, he pushed it open. A staircase spiraled downward, lit only by a single swaying bulb. The air was suffocating, heavy with the scent of rust and decay. Each step creaked beneath his weight. At the bottom, the basement was far larger than it should have been. An endless ward lined with hospital beds, everyone occupied. Patients lay motionless under thin sheets. For Stan stood beside them, bags filled not with fluids but with something darker, thicker. And yet, Daniel heard them breathing in unison, a slow, synchronized rhythm that made his chest tighten. He approached one bed. The sheet rose and fell as though someone were alive beneath it. With trembling hands, he pulled the fabric back. What he saw wasn't a person. It was himself, pale, eyes open, mouth slack. His chest rose and fell with that same dreadful rhythm. Daniel staggered away, clutching his head, unable to understand. But when he turned, every bed revealed the same face, his face. Hundreds of versions of him, staring, breathing, waiting. The whispering swelled into voices. They spoke as one, crawling into his ears. You never left. You never survived. Images slammed into his mind. Sirens, blood, a crash. His car wrapped around twisted metal. He hadn't walked to this hospital. He had been brought here. This wasn't shelter. This was where his body had been dragged, broken and lifeless years ago. He was no visitor. He was one of them. Daniel fell to his knees, screaming, clawing at his own skin as the nurses emerged from the shadows. Dozens of them, their broken grins stretching too wide. The patients in the beds sat up, all of them with his face, their dead eyes fixed on him. And in that moment, he understood the truth. He wasn't trapped in the hospital. He was the hospital. Every wall, every whisper, every breath belonged to him now. The lights above went out all at once. Only his scream remained, echoing through the endless wards. And if you pass by that building on a stormy night, sometimes you'll hear it, faint, muffled, coming from deep inside. Patient who never left. A man who didn't realize he was already gone. And now the story ends. But the darkness doesn't. It waits, watching, whispering in silence. If you were brave enough to make it this far, prove it. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Hit that like button to show you survived the terror, and subscribe, because more nightmares are already on their way. Share this with someone, if you dare.